Hey everyone, this is Darren with Gabe's Cave here. We are here today doing interviews at the Cowtown Comic-Con, and I have Vic Mignogna with me. He is a voice actor. He's done lots of things, and you may know him as Edward from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, right?
Yes, and the original Full Metal.
Oh, so you were in the original as well?
Oh yeah, every Full Metal Alchemist, games, OVAs, all of it. Yes.
Awesome. And Broly.
Yes, Dragon Ball Z, Broly, and Super Broly.
Super, okay.
Or on High School Host Club, Pokemon, Digimon, Naruto, Bleach.
What were you in Naruto?
Well, I was about 6 characters in Naruto, but mostly, I guess the most well known was Obito.
Okay.
And Nagato, but yeah, I've been around a long time.
Yeah.
Done over 300 different animated series.
300 different anime series.
And let's not forget Star Trek.
And Star Trek. Yes.
Yes, we must not forget Star Trek.
Star Trek. But that wasn't a voice. That was...
No, that was live action.
That was live action.
I played Captain Kirk. Captain James Kirk. That was my childhood. My childhood love was Star Trek. So getting the chance to make a series where I could pay tribute to the character, the show that I loved so much.
For sure.
Real privilege.
Well, we'll start off with a question here. Are pickles a fruit or vegetable?
Definitely vegetable. Fruits are sweet. Pickles are not sweet.
But I think they have seeds on the inside, don't they?
Well, that's an accident. And you know what else? Cucumbers. I hate cucumbers.
Do you?
With a fiery passion.
Do you like pickles?
But the best thing that ever happened to cucumbers was pickles.
Yeah.
Was turning them into pickles. Sour pickles, too, not sweet pickles. That seems like a...
I like the spicy pickles.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. I had one the other day that was like ghost pepper pickles. Like they were sour, but they had that real...
sour pickle. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Is that like just like a normal pickle sour, or like did they make sour pickles?
Well, no, as opposed to like sweet pickles.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Like sweet dill or no.
Yeah, I don't like those either.
No, they should be sour.
Or spicy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sour spicy, that would be the best.
Yeah, for sure. Well, how did you get into acting and voice acting at that?
Well, you know what? Star Trek. When I was a little boy, probably 9, 10 years old, I discovered the original, way back, the original Star Trek. And loved it so much. And I loved it so much, I loved what they were doing, the stories they were telling. And they would move me so much that I ended up going back to school and auditioning for school plays because I wanted to do what they were doing. And then I started auditioning for like community theater and got more and more involved in acting. And then about 20 years ago, I was living in Houston, and a friend of mine asked me if I wanted to audition for this place that dubbed Japanese anime.
Okay.
And I thought, wow, that's weird. You mean like Speed Racer?
Yeah.
I loved Speed Racer when I was a kid. So I auditioned, and I got cast as Vega in Street Fighter 2.
Okay, yeah.
And I just figured it was kind of a one-time random thing to do. And then a few weeks later, they asked me to come and audition for another show, and then another, and another, and another, and just kind of snowballed from there. And so now 20 years later, I've been doing it all this time, and I kind of stumbled into it randomly, but it was a real blessing.
Yeah. So in Star Trek, when you said you were watching it when you were younger, what was your biggest inspiration? Who was your biggest inspiration there?
Captain Kirk.
Yeah?
I loved Shatner. I loved William Shatner and the character of Kirk. He became very much of a role model, of a father figure, so to speak. My parents had just divorced. My dad was gone, and there was this strong, handsome hero, leader of men. And so when I got to play that character, many decades later, I wanted to pay tribute to that character as best I could.
For sure. I understand that. Well, you already answered a couple of these already, so let me roll down my list here.
I answered 4 questions with one.
Yeah, you did. So, do you watch your own stuff?
I haven't watched a lot of it. I could probably, of the hundreds of things I've done, I could probably count on my two hands the number of anime series that I actually watched. Mostly just because of the time involved. But, there are some shows that I was so intrigued by the show itself when I recorded that I'm like, I'm going to have to make a point to watch this show. Full Metal was certainly one of them. Loved it so much that every Saturday night or Friday night when it would come on Cartoon Network, I would want to see what was going on in the rest of the show. Because when you record a character, you only record your character.
Right.
So if there are other things going on, you don't know about it unless you watch the show.
Right. Yeah, and then there's, lots of other characters and lots of episodes that Edward might not have been in or
Exactly. Like what's going on back in Central City while Ed's off with Alphonse somewhere. And I'll tell you something else. We record our lines separately.
Right.
So if I went in to record and Alphonse had not recorded yet or Winry had not recorded yet, I want to tune in Saturday night because I want to hear the finished episode.
A lot of people don't do that.
I just loved it so much. There were only a handful of shows that I did that way.
But you did watch. Did you watch all of Full Metal and then Brotherhood as well?
Yes.
Which one did you like better?
Most people like Brotherhood best, but I gotta say, I have a real special place in my heart for the original.
Yeah.
Because it was where I first met these characters and fell in love with this show. So the original Full Metal has a very, very special place in my heart.
So I just met you a few minutes ago over at your booth, and I got an autograph for David, my buddy.
David, something coming your way.
And he actually told me I need to go watch the show, and this was maybe 3 weeks ago, I actually binged the whole.
Did you really?
The whole Brotherhood. So I haven't watched the first one, and I know they're a little different towards the end.
They're a little different, but I mean the first one I loved a lot. The second one follows the manga, which is I think one of the reasons why people like it. Better.
I was told to watch Brotherhood, and if I wanted to watch the other one, I could, but
I would like to encourage you. David told you to watch Brotherhood. I'm asking you to watch the original.
I may just do it now.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, so that's kind of funny meeting you today, but I did just watch the whole series of Brotherhood. Yeah,
good. I hope you enjoyed it.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I did. It was actually really good. At first, I started off and I was like, I don't know. I'm not real big into anime as much, but I started off and I was like, I don't know.
What are you into?
Lots of stuff. I don't know.
Not anime, but
not saying I'm not into anime. I just don't. I haven't watched enough of it.
You're just kind of indifferent.
Yeah.
You can take it or leave it.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, but I don't. I don't watch.
Well, so what are you into?
I really like Star Wars. Star Wars is my favorite.
You up on Mandalorian?
I have not watched the new episode. Don't spoil it. If you've seen it, don't spoil it.
I can't believe what happened in the new episode.
Yeah, that's what everybody said.
I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
But the fact that, oh my gosh, to find out that there's another Baby Yoda.
Oh, yeah.
There are two of them?
Yeah. They fight?
Oh, my God.
They start using the Force?
Oh, yeah. When Baby Yoda whips out the baby lightsaber.
Yeah, man.
And he chops off the Mandalorian's arm.
Oh, no.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Right. All right, so which of your characters besides Captain Kirk was your favorite? When you
Full Metal was definitely my favorite. Full Metal. There's another show that I did that was very well loved, and I loved doing it so much, and that was Ouran High School Host Club.
Okay.
It's just this quirky slice of life kind of an anime, but I loved it so much. And yeah, Ed was probably my favorite. I just loved the story so much and the character.
Right. Do you have any advice for anyone wanting to get into voice acting?
I tell most people that the operative word in voice acting is acting. It's not so much about voice. It's not about, I can imitate Yoda. Well, that's great. Somebody's already playing that role. Or I can sound just like Homer Simpson. Great. Somebody's already doing that. It's not about imitating characters you like. Mm-hmm. It's about playing a character. And it's not even about funny voices. It's about playing a role, which is acting. Whether it's stage acting or on camera, voice acting is exactly the same, only with your voice.
Right.
You don't have the luxury of wearing a costume or acting with other people or your body language or the way you carry yourself or your props or a costume to communicate a character. It's all in the voice.
Yep.
So that's challenging in and of itself. But acting is the most important thing. Anybody interested in voice acting, get as much experience as you can acting. Get involved in school productions and community theaters and church plays and anything you can to develop your skills as an actor. And then you just kind of have to be where that kind of work is done.
Right. It's always cool seeing, like on YouTube and whatnot, you can see voice actors doing their thing. And we actually had the opportunity to go to Cartoon Network headquarters and watch as they recorded Steven's Universe.
Sure. Yeah.
While they were doing that live right there for an episode, and it's always cool. And like you said, it's acting. It's not just voice acting. It's they're doing, honestly, walking around doing the things that you would see the character doing, or what they think the character would be doing. So it's
yeah.
Really
a lot of times, if you put a camera on a voice acting session, if the voice actor's kind of doing his thing, he's trying to play the role as best he can.
Right.
And you may only hear it, you may never see it, but he's going through the motions.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He's acting. He or she is acting it out right there in the booth, even though you only hear their voice while you're watching something or seeing.
In anime, there is an added level of challenge to anime because the animation's already done. With a lot of Western animation, they record the voices first. So you've got a lot more flexibility with how you perform a line. Whereas with anime, the animation's finished and done, and you have to perform it in a believable, emotionally believable performance, but you have to do it within a very strict, finished animation of mouth movements.
So do you get to see it before you actually record it?
Yeah, you do, but, very rarely will the first take be perfect. You'll do it and be like, okay, that was really good, but there was a pause right there, or you went a little longer. So you have to kind of tailor your performance to the finished animation.
For sure. So, do you prefer Netflix, Prime, Hulu, Disney Plus, or Crunchyroll?
Dang. Okay, well, I do love Netflix, but I'm currently watching 24 on Hulu. I know I'm a little late to the 24 party. I know.
How long has that been out?
I don't know.
You just now starting it?
But yes, my girlfriend's like, you need to watch 24. I was like, yeah, I've been meaning to. It's on Hulu. So I'm watching Hulu every night. But there are a couple of things that I'm watching on Netflix as well.
Yeah.
And Star Trek's on Netflix. I don't want to pressure anybody, but the original Star Trek is on Netflix.
Are they all on there?
Well, I know Next Gen is, and I think I've seen Enterprise on there, but we don't need to worry about any of those because the original is on there, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, that's actually one that I have not seen all of, and I really would like to.
You haven't seen all of the original Star Trek?
No, I really want to though. That's it's been something.
Dude, there wouldn't be any other Star Trek if there wasn't the original.
I know.
You got to see the original.
I know, and that's.
Am I right, Bryant? The original Star Trek.
Yeah.
Have you seen it all?
There you go.
Hey.
Now, that's an American hero right there. That guy's a patriot.
I know what I need to do with my time now.
That's right. Why are you even here? Why aren't you home watching Star Trek? Gotta feel it, man.
Well, you actually answered the next question. I was going to say, what's the
next question? Why have you not watched all of Star Trek?
No. What's the last series you binge watched? 24.
No. The last series I binge watched in its entirety, Avatar: Last Airbender. My girlfriend loves that show, and she's been telling me about it, and I'm like, I'll watch it. Is that Netflix? Yes.
Netflix, yeah.
See, that was on Netflix. I just finished it. I mean, I'm into season 2 of 24. Man, they sure suck you into that show. I don't know what it is. It's like they just craft the episodes in such a way they're like, dang, I got to see the next show. I got to know what's going to happen next.
Something kind of funny, I actually just binge watched The Last Airbender as well.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Like, I would think it might have been like 4 days before I started. I finished it before I started Brotherhood.
Really?
And then I binged. I tried to binge watch Brotherhood, but, I get busy and I got work and everything.
Sure.
So
well, yeah.
Got to stop.
A series that's 50 or 60 episodes.
Yeah,
takes a while.
I get home, I watch like 4, 5, 10, 15. a whole season.
Well, yeah, I just finished Avatar. I loved it. She was like, "You haven't seen it?" And I'm like, "This is a great anime." And she's like, "It's not anime. Like it was made, Nickelodeon made it." I'm like, "Well, maybe they did,
kind of
but
anime.
it's made to look like and feel and seem just like anime."
I mean, it's anime in my book.
Yeah, well, it wasn't made in Japan, so
Right.
technically
Not manga,
it's not
but
anime,
it's
but
kind of anime.
But it was, I mean, even down to their names.
Yeah.
Like it's all got a very anime style to
Names
it.
of their cities, names and everything.
Oh, yeah. Katara.
Yeah. Do you plan on watching The Legend of Korra?
No. Because she's my resident expert, and she tells me that it's not quite the same as Avatar.
That's what I've been told.
And I mean, I'm sure it's good, and I mean, nothing against anybody that likes it. That's cool, but she's my resident Avatar expert, and she's like, "Oh well, it's not as good as Avatar." So I may watch it just because I have friends that voice acted on it.
Oh, really? That's cool.
But
not Ariel. Who did we do earlier? Who did we did? I cannot remember her name. That's terrible. She recommended me watch Legend of Korra.
Oh, really?
But David, my buddy, told me not to because he watched it and he was like, "It's not as good."
Well, you know what? Sequels are very rarely as good as the original. Like follow-ups are, whenever it is, it's rare, and it's a rare pleasure. Like, oh my gosh, this is better than the original.
Empire Strikes Back.
Exactly, a rarity. Usually the sequels are not as good, but I'm sure it's great.
Yeah, I haven't started it. I'm not saying I won't. I would certainly watch it, but it wouldn't be a binge. I wouldn't, unless it was just that good.
Yeah, and it might be good to watch it just because you're kind of in the industry, and you might get the chance to interview, somebody from Legend of Korra. So you want to kind of have a little bit of background knowledge about it.
For sure, yeah.
After you watch Star Trek, of course.
Yeah, no, that's the next one. I was going to ask myself a question. What's the next series you're going to binge watch? Star Trek. All of them. All like 1,000.
79. No,
How many episodes are there?
79.
Just the one.
Just the original series of Star Trek, 79. And then, y'all, as soon as you finish watching the last episode of Star Trek, go right into Star Trek Continues, my series.
Yeah.
We have 11 full-length episodes, StarTrekContinues.com, shameless plug. You can watch them all for free.
You say shameless plug?
I did.
Oh, we're going to plug you at the end anyways.
Well, thank you. Well, it's shameless when I do it, but when you do it, it's cool.
There you go.
It picks up right where the original series was canceled, and it finishes the 5-year mission that they talked about because they were canceled. And then Star Trek the Motion Picture came up 10 years later, but what happened in between?
Right.
We fill that gap. Star Trek Continues perfectly fills the gap.
Now I know what I really am going to go watch.
Please do.
Yeah.
I'd be honored.
With your series, is it on anything or?
It's on YouTube. And it's on. You can watch it directly from our site, from StarTrekContinues.com.
StarTrekContinues.com.
But
check that
watch
out
the original series, and especially watch the original series and then watch ours because several of our episodes are sequels. They're continuations of original series episodes.
Oh, awesome.
So once you watch the original series, you'll be real familiar with them.
Well, now like I said, now I really know what I'm going to go do.
I'll be calling you next week.
Yes.
Just to follow up.
Yeah.
And make sure you did.
I'll go home after this. We're leaving today. We got about a 5-hour drive.
Everybody, you hearing this, right?
I'm just going to watch it all week.
Hold them accountable. David, you especially, hold them accountable.
You have to watch it too. I watched your animes. Now you watch
That's
Star
only
Trek.
fair, dude. Only fair.
That's right. Well, that's all I had. Well, let's. What are your socials and your websites?
Well, I'm on Twitter, for better or worse. Twitter's gotten kind of crazy over the last few years.
It certainly has.
I'm on Twitter, and my fan club is.
Just a reminder: the concession stand is open with drinks.
Concession stand.
And wine is available today until 3 o'clock, as well as sodas and water. Come on up to the concession stand.
I don't remember the last time I was at a convention where the concession stand sold wine.
Right. Hey.
Gotta love Texas, man.
That's
I love it. But Twitter and. Also, I'm going to be launching I think I'm going to be launching a live stream on Twitch very soon. Announcements for that will be on Twitter. And also my fan club, RisenBullRangers.com and StarTrekContinues.com. And we have an official Star Trek Continues Facebook page, so check it out.
Cool. And can you give us a little Edward at the end here for anybody that's still watching?
Wow. Don't try human transmutation. It doesn't work.
Thanks, Vic, for
My pleasure,
coming
man.
out.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.